Good evening and welcome. It is 6 p.m. It is the 19th day of October, and I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming who needs a haircut. The OGGM with another weekly look at what's going on in the gaming news world, and wow, pretty much nothing. A couple new games came to print this week, and a couple new games went playtest, Kickstarters are ending, and then there's the whole Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman thing, and the Volo performing an operation on himself and Baldur's Gate 3 thing. So let's get the easy stuff out of the way. The following Kickstarters are coming to an end. The Waganda Chronicles, Afro Fantasy MMO for roleplay from Twin Drums. That Kickstarter's ending October 30th. World Without Number by Sign Nominee Publishing. It's the fantasy version of Stars Without Number. It's an $80 pledge. It ends November 3rd. Stars Without Number is a science fiction space generating role-playing game. And Worlds Without Number is a fantasy role-playing game by the same guy using the same idea of just generating stories and generating worlds. So it should be good. The Stargate SG-1 role-playing game from Wavering Gaming. Its Kickstarter ends October 29th. Sadly, it is using D&D 5th edition. We're not going to... Yeah. Ghost Hunters for the World of Darkness 20th Anniversary from Onyx Path Publishing. That's ending its Kickstarter, surprisingly, on Halloween. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Onyx, as we know. We're not really going to address that here. Flames of Freedom, powered by Zweinhander. It's a D100 game set in the Revolutionary War, but with, like occult and stuff going on. That ends its Kickstarter on November 4th. Something called Caesarian Legends, a Savage World adventure, ends its Kickstarter on October 18th, so that already ended. Yonder, a fantasy tabletop role-playing game from Sumiko Publishing. It's an original system. Ends its Kickstarter on November 2nd. Ancient Undead Spider Wizard from the makers of the Black Hat. It's an adventure for the Black Hat 2nd edition, so it's a OSR adventure. It ends its Kickstarter on Halloween. So that's it. Now let's go to games that came out or are coming out in the next couple days, if that's something that interests you. Vasen, the Nordic horror role-playing game from Free League Publishing, so that should be another award winner, is now available hardcover core rules from your local friendly neighborhood role-playing game store. Seekers Beyond the Shroud from Exalted Funeral is a softcover core rules for solo role-playing. The Lost Lands, the Grand Duchy of Reem, from Frog God Games, the people who brought us Slumbering Czar and Rapanethuk, bring us another system-neutral city for their world. The Lost Lands. I've run games in the Lost Lands before. It's really good. They're also coming out with a 5th edition version, of course. The Lost Colony box set from Pinnacle Entertainment for Deadlands Reloaded. So that's Deadlands doing the whole like John Cotter of Mars kind of stuff. So check that out. Monty Cook, Numenaria has a new game coming out called Liminal Shores. So it's a hardcover book for $50 for some more stuff for the Numenaria role-playing game. Dishonored, the role-playing game, is something that has been called Whale Punk. There's no such fucking thing as Whale Punk. That's for the 2D20 system from Morpheus Entertainment. That's available now for $40. Age of Concordia, also from the same people that are bringing us the Dishonored, is a hardcover cold world. You are basically a world-traveling, parallel dimension traveling investigator kind of thing. So, Rifts-y kind of game. And that's it. So now let's address, of course, the big news, which is the Margaret Rice and Tracy Hickman suing Wizards of the Coast for breach of contract. Because that's probably the biggest news coming on, and that comes as a result of this whole legacy thing that Wizards of the Coast is slapping onto all their old stuff, that somehow all their old product is racist and sexist and anti-Semitic, and if you buy it or read Dragonlance or Oriental Adventure, somehow you are a racist. So if you followed that, DM Bloodworth has done a lot of stuff talking about it, so, and I've talked about it before, but basically Dragonlance, as you know, is huge. It was one of the hugest gaming things that Wizards of the Coast did. The Dragonlance books are huge. They're very important to a lot of people. They rate right up there with like Game of Thrones, of just a series that has such diehard fans. And Wizards of the Coast had the rights to do role-playing stuff. Hickman and stuff did not have it, even though they have their own publishing game and their own system. TSR, Wizards of the Coast. But they let it lapse. So it sort of was just floating out there in the nebulousness. And then Wizards of the Coast said, oh, we're going to do stuff with Dragonlance. And Hickman and Wace invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of stuff getting this, squirreled in. And Wizards of the Coast was like, yes, this is going to happen. And then they just sort of dropped the ball, partially because of the legacy thing, partially because they had so many other lawsuits going on, partially because they're just idiots. But whatever, the proposed Dragonlance revised 5th edition, new rules, whatever, contract was voided. So they had a contract and was ready to go. The company, the Dragonlance people had invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money into getting a new version ready because they felt people needed a new book. They felt they needed a new closure. They felt they needed new role-playing stuff for the Dragonlance. There was going to be a new book, new art, a whole bunch of stuff that was going to be all part of this. And then Wizards of the Coast was just like, no, we're not going to do it. So they're being sued for breach of contract. All the information is available on the Wizards of the Coast site, on the Hickman and Weiss site, on Morris site. It's all over the place. There's a petition going around to help support them with this lawsuit. I have signed it. I just signed this. So this is basically, once again, Wizards of the Coast making a stupid choice that they think is right, but they're making the right choice for all the wrong reasons, and then it coming up to bite them in the ass. It's OGL all over again. And it's just, I don't know if it's going to do any damage to them because, whatever. But it definitely ruins their relationship with the Margaret and Tracy and all the fans of Dragonlance. And any hope we had of seeing a new D&D Dragonlance or new D&D Dragonlance books is now perpetually on hold until this lawsuit gets resolved. And that could take, let's face it, years. So that is the huge news. Now, the other huge news is not as huge. But if you are following what's going on with Baldur's Gate 3, apparently somebody discovered in Baldur's Gate 3 a scene where our man Volo basically performs optical surgery on himself to remove an Ithilid spawn that was living in his eye. And there are scenes, this imagery is up on YouTube, and apparently a lot of people found it very upsetting, very strange thing to find in Baldur's Gate. That seems more like the kind of thing you would find in Planescape. Just the imagery of, somebody going in and ripping out their own eye. So, yeah, that's out there, but that really pales in comparison to this Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman contract thing. So, yeah, check it out. Support them in their legal actions against Wizards of the Coast. Tell Wizards of the Coast, fuck you. Stop trying to fuck with our D&D, or Hasbro or whoever, because you're turning something we loved into something ugly that a lot of us don't want to be a part of anymore. So, yeah, that's the gaming news. If you appreciate this content and want to see more, comment down below. Also, if you don't want to see more, comment down below. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please consider subscribing. Help me hit my goal of 500 subs by the end of the year. I don't think we're going to hit 300 by the end of October, so no mohawk for you. I will talk to you later.